Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of the DCK's tractor project. In the first video I did a general inspection of it and got it running briefly at the end of that video. But today we're going to get a little bit deeper. We're going to check all the fluids and evaluate this thing a little bit more thoroughly. I've actually already done the work. I found some good things and I also found evidence of what could be a bad thing. So let's jump right in and I'll show you what we got going here. You can see the brown coloration in the coolant there. That is either very old coolant or that is oil contamination in the coolant. Well, it looks like that oil might have some type of contamination, perhaps water. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil to eliminate that unknown, and we'll put some fresh in it and we'll go from there. This is a 9/16 pipe plug. Keep our eyes on the quality of this oil when it comes out here. Yeah, see how milky that is? That's not good. Another unique thing about this tractor is it has a wet clutch. The clutch side is over here. It actually gets oil from the crankcase. So when you change the oil in the crankcase, you also need to remove this plug here, which will drain the oil from the clutch side. So we'll let those drain, fast forward and put some fresh oil in it. While we're waiting for the oil to finish draining, let's go ahead and remove the filter so we can put the new one in. All right, I've got the mess cleaned up a little bit here. The oil level inside the housing here is still right about there. And it looks like we've got an actual drain plug in the bottom of the housing. So this is obviously the lid. This is a 1-inch nut. And I just wanted to show you that's actually spring loaded. That's a spring right there to apparently keep pressure on the top of the oil filter inside the canister there. And there's also a rubber O-ring around the inner edge. Okay, I think the system takes roughly 7 quarts or so, but I'm not necessarily gonna keep track of how many quarts I put in the system. I'm gonna remove this lower drain plug and I'm gonna leave it out while I'm filling it. When I start to see oil come out of this lower drain plug, I'm gonna put the plug back in, and then I'm gonna add just a little bit more oil so the level is effectively between this plug and this plug. All right, this is the oil fill right here. Another unique thing I learned about this tractor is that the cylinders in the engine are sleeved from the factory. And somewhere towards the bottom of the sleeve, there's a ridge or a groove that a O-ring goes in. So apparently these O-rings sometimes break down over age, then they don't seal properly, and you can end up with coolant in the oil, just like I've got. I think I see it. Yep, there it comes. Now that's what oil should look like. All right, I've got this oil filter cleaned up a little bit. This is a Napa Gold filter. I believe that part number is 1080, made in USA. So just for curiosity, I want to actually cut this open so we can see inside of it. Well, the good news is I don't see any metal flakes, but the bad news is I think I do see some coolant there in the bottom. Let me see if I can pour that out. So you see that green right there, obviously, and that milky oil is floating on top. So that is not just water. That looks like it's coming from the coolant system. All right, I'm officially concerned at this point. All right, guys, so here's the plan. I'm gonna start it up, get it up to operating temperature. During the run, we're gonna watch for white smoke, which would indicate coolant being burned in the combustion chambers. We're also gonna check the coolant level in the radiator before and after the run. If there is a significant coolant leak, the level will have gone down. We're also gonna listen to the engine run just to see if it's missing at all, see how it idles, see how it accelerates. Then after it gets up to operating temperature, we'll shut it down. I'll get another oil sample and we'll see if that one's been contaminated as well. During the warm-up process, I'll go ahead and drive the tractor for the first time and we'll go through all the gears just to make sure the transmission works and the clutch feels good. Okay, here we go. We're going to start it up. Well, we definitely had some white smoke there, huh? It wasn't constant, but it was, you know, it was pretty significant. Okay, let's see what the oil looks like after one heat cycle. I just want to try to capture a little bit of this oil. Don't want a whole bunch to come out. So here's the oil after one run, and you can see it's already sort of getting milky. Let me see if I can get some out of this oil filter reservoir also. I think it's confirmed. We've definitely got some contamination going on. That's a little bit too runny, and it's a little bit too milky after just one run. So what do you guys think I should do here? The tractor runs great. It idles, it accelerates, it does not overheat. However, I'm pretty confident at this point we're getting some coolant into the crankcase. Whether or not that's a head gasket issue or a cylinder sleeve O-ring issue, I just hope it's not something catastrophic like a crack in a block. That's really too bad because everything else seems to work. So I'm gonna have to study on this for a little bit, although I'm pretty sure I know what direction we're gonna have to go in. If there is in fact coolant getting into the oil, which it looks like there is, it's only a matter of time before that oil gets so thin that the motor is going to start to overheat, and at that point we could start damaging internal parts, which I really don't want to do because it's harder to get parts for these case tractors than it is the Fords and the Farmalls, and they're just not as prevalent on the market. So I guess at this point I'm hoping that it is a head gasket. That would be the easiest thing to fix. But it's one of those things that could snowball into a larger project. And then there's the cylinder sleeves we have to consider with those O-rings on there. If we have everything apart, do we go ahead and put O-rings on the sleeves at the same time? But for now, I'm going to do nothing, and we're going to think about this for a little bit, and let me know what you guys... So it looks like it's going to be a larger project than I initially thought, but that's okay. I think we've still got a good tractor here. We'll keep moving forward and we'll get it figured out one way or another. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on the next video.